Welcome to on tonight's Clubhouse Live, we're kicking off Turkey Week with another special Legends Edition show. And we're excited to welcome back one of our favorites, Packers Hall of Famer and Clubhouse Live friend Johnnie Gray is here. The Pack is back, for 1 week anyway. We'll get Johnny's thoughts on what he has seen on the field so far. Plus, we'll take Johnny on a fun trip down memory lane that you don't want to miss. It's time to get started. Hey, Johnny, come on in.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Clubhouse Live. We're hanging out inside the Fox Club at Neuroscience Group Field at Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute, Wisconsin. This is the home of the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. It's also the home to Clubhouse Live. I'm Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin and the Post-Crescent. Hey, it's Victory Monday, isn't it? How's everybody feeling tonight? Feeling pretty good, yeah. Holiday week, football week, and a big Packers victory to talk about with one of our favorites. We'll talk about that, or we'll introduce him more properly here in a little bit. But let's talk about that. How do you guys like Packers 23, Chargers 20, huh? How fun was that? Yeah, Mean Gene's still in a lather back there. Look at this guy. Look at this guy, huh? Yeah, he's taking over the show. Hey, a beautiful fall afternoon at Lambeau Field ended in beautiful fashion, right? As the Packers finally won a close game in taking down the Chargers under sunny skies and warm temps. Warm for this time of year anyway, right? Mean Gene, it was beautiful yesterday. How about Jordan Love? How about the quarterback yesterday? All he did was throw for a career-high 322 yards, 2 touchdowns, tosses to Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson on his way to a 108.5 passer rating. Love's 24-yard, beautiful touchdown pass to Doubs with 2:33 remaining in the game, capped a 6-play, 75-yard drive, and proved to be the game winner. Love, by the way, did you guys see this? An early stat pack. He became the first Packers QB to throw for at least 300 yards in a game since Aaron Rodgers back in December 12th, 2021. It's almost been 2 years. So how about Jordan Love? Yeah. Celebration short-lived, however, right? To Green Bay already up the road in Titletown. They're busy prepping for the short week and Thursday's Thanksgiving Day matchup against the rival and division-leading Lions, whose coach is kind of a big mouth, isn't he, right now? He's practically guaranteeing a victory on Thursday, saying there's going to be more celebrating. So we'll see. Happy Vince is here, though. Look at that. He's looking at you, Johnnie Gray. Happy Vince. He loves you, Johnnie Gray, with those. Well, he's got a lot of teeth in that mouth, doesn't he? So happy Vince, because one of our favorites is here. We'll get him up in a bit. This is just the early intro. But how about a big Clubhouse Live welcome for the Packers Hall of Famer, our friend Johnnie Gray. He's right over there. And you know what? Where's Johnny's son? And how about Johnny's son, who's back there hanging out with us tonight? Yes. He's supposed to be at the VIP table. But first, a big thank you to our presenting sponsors, Cellcom and Packerland Home Improvement. Black Friday, that's coming up, right? Sales this month at Cellcom, now through actually the end of today. Join and save up to $600 on phones from top brands. Visit cellcom.com/deals for details. And Packerland Home Improvement has delivered superior windows and door installation service for 50 years. Take advantage of their current special. Buy one window or door, get one 60% off, plus 12 months, no payments. And for the folks, again, here and watching online, all you have to do is mention Clubhouse Live, and you get an additional $250 off your entire project. So very easy to save some money. Packerland Home Improvement, it matters. It's your home. And now the worst part of the show. Let's hurry up. Let's rush through this because we want to get Johnny over here. It's when I have to introduce the other member of our Clubhouse Live crew. It is the one and thankfully the only Chicago Bears fan, Ricardo Arguello, everybody.
Yes. That's a loud boo.
You know why? You guys blew it yesterday.
Well, you blew
it yesterday.
You don't need to remind me. It's only the fourth game they have been leading in the fourth and blown. Brett, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
They're finding different ways to lose now. It's hard on this old man.
You're almost speechless, aren't you?
I'm getting a little sick of it, actually.
It was 31-26. They lost, but they had that thing won until late in the game, losing to the Lions.
Brett,
Lions,
they were up 12 points
late
with
in the
3
game,
minutes left.
and 4 turnovers for Detroit.
And they had 4 takeaways. Yes,
and
believe
still
me.
lost the game.
And they still I think it's the first time in the NFL history that's happened where they had 40 minutes time possession, 4 takeaways, fourth quarter lead of 2 scores or more, and they lost the first time.
Congratulations, your Bears are making history.
I don't think that's a good thing to have.
Your Bears are making history. There
yes,
you
they
go.
are. They're making history, Brett.
At 3-8. So, all right, enough about your Bears, your stinking Bears, but we want to know more about how this show works. Can you remind everybody?
Yeah, it's interactive, and I'm on here chatting with the people from all over the country, maybe even all over the world. We invite those comments and questions through that live chat. It can be found on your desktop, on your laptop, maybe even your tablet or phone. Brett, just sign in, log in, give yourself a name. We'll get any of those questions right over to you and Johnny.
Yep. Twitter, we're on Twitter, or give us our hashtag is Clubhouse Live. I'm at PC Brett C. You're at Ricardo De Leon. Johnny's at Grade Johnny. And please give us a like on Facebook as well. You get a lot of information and other tidbits about the show at facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. So I got the Lions welcome mat. I want Johnny to stomp his feet all over the Lions logo and get ready for that big Turkey Day matchup against the Lions. Let's do this. Our guest tonight played in 9 NFL seasons. He was a hard-hitting safety with the Green Bay Packers. He produced 100 or more tackles in 3 straight seasons. How about that for production? Our guest tonight finished with 22 career interceptions and 1 TD. He led the Packers in interceptions 3 different times. How about that? Our guest tonight is a member of the Green Bay Packers Board of Directors. He is a fan favorite, and he is an ambassador to anything and everything that is Green Bay Packers football. He's a great friend of our show, and he's on our short list to take over as the Packers president when Mark Murphy finally retires. I think it should be this guy. It should be this guy. How about a big Clubhouse Live Thanksgiving welcome for the one and the only? It's Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer number 24. It's Johnnie Gray. There we go. Yes. Good to see you, Johnny. Good to see you. Sit down. Scooch over there by the corner. We don't have to be that far apart. Yeah. It is good to see you. Look at Johnnie Gray acting like it's July 20th, not November 20th. He's got the short sleeve shirts. He's got the pants. You look like you've been out on the golf course today.
Well, I wish.
Yeah.
But, hey, I wore my yellow shirt in remembrance of yesterday's game being the throwback.
Yeah.
Like those gold helmets they had. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good to see you. It's been a couple years.
It's been a couple years, yes.
How about this crowd? Big crowd
awesome
here.
Awesome crowd. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you like our new spot too? This is your first time here.
Beautiful.
Isn't this nice?
Yeah, very nice.
It's home of the Timber Rattlers. They roll out the red carpet. Yeah, very spacious, very nice. And well, I'll tell you what, real quick, I just want to make a programming note. Josiah DeGore, he's one of our co-hosts, also with Keyshawn Nixon. Mm-hmm. Josiah will be here next Monday at 6:30 with a teammate guest. Maybe we'll be talking about the Packers' victory over the Detroit Lions, huh? That would be kind of fun. 6:30 right here at the Fox Club. So, I got to ask you this, Johnny. Do you have a message for Chicago Bears fan Ricardo Arguello over there? Because I know you can't stand the Bears. I know you hate the Bears. Well, he's going to turn around.
I know. I'm getting a little worried here.
Well, I noticed that they lost yesterday.
Yes, thank you.
A substantial lead.
Yes.
Yeah, that didn't work out for him, though. But
it's, like I told everyone, it's getting kind of old now, Johnny. It's wearing on this old man, I'm telling you right now. It's terrible. I can't tell you. Brett, let me tell you, you know how happy I was with 3.5 minutes left. I'm like, oh, great. Win in the dome, right? This is great. And then literally within minutes, high, low, terrible. Boom.
Wow. I saw Fields doing the little shimmy out there.
Yeah, everyone was feeling good, Johnny. Everyone was feeling good, and me included.
Life as a Bears fan, right?
Wow.
Year after year after year.
Same old story. Right?
He's getting a little ornery over here.
I think people have had a little too much to drink.
Let's do this. Let's talk about this. How do you get yourself, Johnnie Gray, on the executive committee of the Green Bay Packers so you can be the next president of the green and gold? How's that going to happen? How can we make that happen for you?
I don't know. I think that would need some fan voting or something, or maybe win the lottery and kind of just say, hey, kind of buy my way in, or I'm not sure how that works.
You don't know how to get on that thing, huh? Everybody wants to know. You got to be a high roller, right? You could probably have some money there to get on.
You would think so. There's those guys in there pretty high up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they have to own a business or something.
You've been involved in the business side of the Packers, right? As being on the board of directors, so I'm sure you know Mark Murphy quite well.
Good guy.
Very good guy.
Yeah.
He's done good things. I know he gets in the crosshairs from time to time, but when you look at what has happened around that stadium, the stadium itself, and then Titletown under his watch, it's been a pretty successful run. Plus, he won a Super Bowl as the Packers president as well. But what is something about his role as president maybe that people would be surprised to know about? Some behind-the-scenes stuff. Anything that you might know? Anything that he has to do? It just seems like it could be a thankless job from time to time.
He just followed his dreams. I think Harlan was one of those guys back when, if you can remember Bob. I mean, they had a future for Lambeau, and want to keep up with the other NFL teams throughout the National Football League, and found a way to generate income and be able to come up with that Titletown district. But I mean, he's had that foresight, I guess, to keep Green Bay competitive, in the market. So. Anything about him, I remember playing against him when he was with Washington. Yes, we talk about stories. We every game he'll take a walk around because he likes to meet the president or the owners of the other team, and so I'm already on that side of the field, and so we always shake hands and talk about how each other's doing. I was in a cane. I had surgery June, so I'm a little gimpy and still recovering. And he had a bad hip. And so he had surgery last week on his hip.
Oh, okay.
And so he's walking around on Sunday without the cane, which was nice. But just I think his vision of what he wanted, you look over there and you drive. I was over there 2 weeks ago for the Rams game. I spent my family. We got a couple of rooms over at the Kohler Lodge, and just to stand and walk around through that district. Our school went over there last year to kind of go through the 40-yard dash thing and what's over there. But it's neat that they're doing all the things that they can do.
It's amazing how that whole thing has been transformed.
And then plus, coming the draft coming in here.
That's going to be fun,
25.
Right? Amazing what has become from the days when it was just a little oval tin metal stadium, right?
We're sitting there looking at the stadium yesterday, and I said, "Well, Johnny, when you played, they probably just went up to those railings right there, right?" And then all of a sudden, I'm sitting in the press box, and I'm looking around, and the structure, how high it's gone, and and it just all of a sudden, boom, 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 they just started to keep up with
amazing.
that.
It's amazing.
Nice job.
One thing about Mark Murphy, always construction projects going on at Lambeau Field. So, you mentioned class. What's Johnny Gray up to these days? Still the same thing? You're still doing your thing at Sybil Hop. You're on TV. Still the uniform inspector. All that stuff is going on still for you, huh?
Still going on. As long as everybody have me, I'm still going to be there. So it's been fun. Been a little bit difficult this year again because of the surgery in June. Training camp was exciting, but just kind of doing the same things. The only thing that's going to keep me from doing the things that I have been doing already is going to be my health. And so it's just just trying to get this body back into a healthier mode, and then I'll be able to see how far I can go.
Well, you look good, right? He looks good, Johnny Gray.
Yeah,
looking good.
Thank you.
Well, let's do this. We're going to kind of break this up. Let's talk a little bit about the current state of affairs with the Green Bay Packers, get your thoughts as a former player, and then we're going to take a trip down memory lane with Johnny, like we did with some of our other we always call these the Legends editions. We had Jerry Kramer on earlier this year. We had John Kuhn, Don Mikowski, the Magic Man was here. So we had a lot of fun with those guys looking back. But, hey, Rosie, let's put up the Clubhouse Live gift of the night. What do we have here? Look at that. Look at Jordan Love getting into the game. Yeah. Pumped up. Now, obviously, that was not from yesterday because they were not wearing the throwback in that picture. But that's kind of the attitude, the atmosphere that we saw at Lambeau Field. Everybody was pumped up after finally winning a close one. So what's your overall take on what you've seen from this team this year? We're not used to seeing struggles, right, in these close losses, but what do you think? Are they kind of trending in a good direction? I guess your overall take on what you've seen so far.
I would say that they are trending in an upward trend. they've started to not beat themselves up more than they have in those other games where, we saw the first play, the kickoff, then there's a holding penalty, then there's a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. This team's not good enough to be able to overcome penalties like that. Unlike Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions, 3 interceptions and they still come out, with a victory over those Bears. But during the summer, it was exciting. I mean, it was a fresh look in training camp. There was no drama. It was about these young ball players trying to make a statement, make a mark on this Packer team. And they went out there and they played really aggressive. Now, after seeing training camp, I'm saying to myself, man, this could be 8, 9, maybe squeeze in a 10th win in here somewhere, because they're all healthy and they're all playing well. But on paper it looked good, but then all of a sudden comes the season start, second game, now you're missing, Jair, you're missing Aaron Jones, you're missing, all of a sudden you start, Bakhtiari goes down after the second game. So things started to change, the whole outlook. But you're right now, you're seeing a lot of the young talent getting an opportunity to play because the older players are getting beat up, that those young guys are getting a chance to step in there and play, and they're starting to play well. And it's not easy when all of a sudden, you're expecting a starter to go out there and play, and all of a sudden come Thursday, your coach comes up to you and say, hey, Johnny, you're going to have to go in and start this week. Now you have to learn. And then if you have to change positions from the left corner to the right corner, or go from slot to safety, or safety to strong safety to free, then there's rules that you need to know. And so it's a lot of playbook. It's a lot of film study. So I give the coaches credit, getting players in there that are constantly in their playbook, knowing what they're doing. Yes, there's a couple of mistakes that have been made. I know there's a couple in the Pittsburgh game, but I don't think we saw a whole lot of mistakes being made in that game on Sunday. And so, yes, you do see an upward trend.
Yeah, getting experience, right? There's kind of baptism by fire, as they say. Well, your thoughts on Jordan Love, 10 games into his career as a starting quarterback, right? You look at 16 TDs, 10 interceptions, 83.8 passer rating. Playing well as of late, though, but has he shown you enough to make you declare that this guy's the man for the foreseeable future?
Well, he's, in my eyes, through watching training camp, I thought, man, he's throwing the ball good. He's throwing the ball long. But when we got into the preseason games and he started seeing some of those short passes, if he can remember back in that Cincinnati game back when. And it still seems to be a little bit of a lingering problem. But he and Dobbs seem to be on page. Yeah. I mean, so he's gotten along with Reed and Wicks. Mm-hmm. So those guys are playing well. I would like to see a little bit more out of Watson. I think there's something wrong. I think it was, 3 games back, where maybe it was a Denver game where he caught the ball and he was maybe a step and a half ahead of the defender, and I'm looking for this, boom, he's going to burst out and take a 3-yard lead on him, and then it didn't happen. So I think there's something wrong there. But other than that, they're starting to work on it. I mean, that deep ball's something you have to, those quarterbacks get out there and they throw in that net, throw in the bucket, over the top. But yeah, we got to get them to work on the deep ball a little bit more, because we want to be able to utilize that speed and open up the running game.
Just a case of experience for him, though, too, right? Like all these young guys. He got the big arm. Seems like he got the arm talent, but just needs to be behind the center, reading the defenses on a consistent basis. And like he's growing with those young guys.
Well, and he is, and he's always got his eyes downfield. We saw in the game on Sunday where he rolls out, and we're thinking, okay, now he's going to run, and all of a sudden, boom! There's a receiver right there in the middle of the field. Wow. Go ahead and stop and make that throw. There's your 9-10 yard gain, and it's automatic first down. And so he's always got his head up. I mean, he'd learned a lot from being around Aaron. Always look downfield, make a play, and it's going to pay off for him in the long run. He's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think so too, and just want to see him trend upwards too, right, and make some progress going into year 2 next season, and even these last 7 games should be pretty interesting to see how that all plays out as well. But defense now, let's get this is your specialty, right? Because that was what you did back in your playing days. But they've been in the crosshairs a lot, right? Same with the coordinator as well. But what's your overall take on those guys on that side of the ball? They did a pretty good job yesterday, and I know there were some drops by the Chargers, but hey, that's the game, right? They still played well considering how young they are in that defensive backfield.
It's been tough to watch, and especially with the tackling, because that's a key. You don't give your opponents that extra first down and have them have a chance to move the chains, and I think that's something they really need to work on. I'm not sure with the new collective bargaining agreement, they only allowed to wear pads so many times a week, so many times throughout the year, that they get a chance to do that hitting, and then. Yeah, so that's one thing they really need to work. Well, because I saw 2 weeks ago in the Steeler game, a defensive back came up and he threw his body at the running back sideways, and I'm sitting there, oh my God, your ribs are exposed. I was always taught to go down, bend your knees, get lowered shoulder pads. See what you're going to hit, drive through the legs, and make the sure tackle, wrap the arms around. And it just seems now, with like I said, with the collective bargaining agreement, there's not a whole lot of time to get in there and hit like they would still in high school and in college, I would think. So those are things that need to be worked on, because they go out there and they play solid defense, but it's the missed tackles that gains them an extra yards, or they're flying at the guy and trying to grab the guys around the shoulder. But those are correctable. Those are things that can be, okay, guys, we're looking at the film, man, that was bad. So let's go back and do some correction. As my coach Dick LeBeau would say, let's go back to basics. Let's work on the basic fundamentals, tackling.
What was practice like in your? There you go. They like that. Back in your day, what was a typical week of practice? You're out there just hitting, right? Always in pads. I mean, there was none of this nonsense going on that you see today, pads. Right?
Yeah, always.
So it's just,
I
don't know.
And the thing is, though, my philosophy is that now when we hit, and so you're out there, you're banging heads every day, and you're working on making tackling, or working on your tackling drills and hitting. It's just, right now, it just seems like if you're a boxer or you're a race car driver, there's no way that you can go out there and not spar and get in a 10-round bout with somebody and get your head banged around and not have a concussion.
Right.
And because you're seeing guys get concussed in pregame warm-up. Maybe after the second play of the game, boom, they got hit, or they didn't. They fell back and their head bounced off the turf, and all of a sudden now, they're in concussion protocol. And you're right. We had a walkthrough on Monday after the game on Sunday, Tuesday off, Wednesday and Thursday we're at it, and then Friday short yard is goal line, boom boom, and then take a day off on Saturday, get ready for Sunday.
There was no taking it easy, was there?
No.
Back in the 1970s and 1980s. But you guys like Carrington Valentine, Corey Ballantyne, Anthony Johnson Jr., they're doing some good things back there as these young guys, right?
Are you kidding me?
They look good.
Yeah, I mean that Valentine. Right away he's shown from day one on training camp when he had a chance to get out there to play. He was in your pocket, in your hip, and then he's ready to go out there and be very aggressive. And he's doing the same thing now. He and Ballantyne, and Ballantyne was one of those guys who were like on the bottom trying to work his way in. But when you give those guys an opportunity, they got talent, but they just need experience. And the more experience they get, the better they're going to be.
Well, I tell you what, one more question I have for you, and then we're going to take a time out to tonight's Stat Pack. But I want to go back to your playing days for a second. What do you remember, and this is a great part of the script, I guess, because this goes into what we saw yesterday, Packers-Chargers. In 1978, you guys were in San Diego, and the game time temperature was 102 degrees.
Hot.
Which is tied for the highest in team history. Now, you won that game 24-7.
Yes.
Do you remember that game a little bit?
I think so.
Now, check this out. Green Bay and San Diego, right? It still seems like it should be the San Diego Chargers. Combined on 18 sacks. And the Packers created 11 turnovers in that game, 5 interceptions, and 6 fumble recoveries, again, to win that game. And you had an interception, returned 66 yards. You didn't score. Willie Buchanan had 4 interceptions, which is tied for a single game NFL record. I believe one of them was a touchdown. What do you remember about that game? It sounded like one of those wild games in San Diego.
I remember running down the sidelines with Willie Buchanan to the end zone. Going, hey, touchdown.
Escorting,
against
right?
Dan Fouts, yeah.
11 turnovers, though. That's nuts.
And he's from San Diego.
Oh, is he? Yeah, San
he
Diego
went to
State.
San Diego State.
Sure.
Yeah, he recruited me there when I was vying for college. And he's that was a great game. You're right. It was warm. It's hot. but yet Dan, back in the day, it was Eric Coryell, right?
Sure. Right.
Yeah, so just sit back there, and he had, I forget who the tight end was. Was it Jefferson?
Winslow.
Kellen Winslow. And then they were sitting there finding the ball all over the field, and we had a great defense call, reacted to the ball, and made plays.
What a game! What
Yeah,
a great!
it was.
Always San Diego, Ricardo always had these crazy games back in the day, right? That great game against the Dolphins in the playoffs.
I can't believe it was 102. I know it gets warm there, but usually it's always nice and sunny and 75. You know, what
102
I mean?
degrees,
102.
the anti-ice bowl. So let's take
I
a
have
time out.
by the
Oh,
way,
go ahead.
Brett, I do have two things from
Sure.
online real
Yeah.
quick. One's a comment for Johnny, and another is a question. First off, the comment. This Nancy loves you, Johnny. She's saying you were the first Packer I ever got an autograph from. Johnny was so nice, and I'm so glad he's on the show tonight. Hi, Johnny Gray from Nancy. So there you go.
Hi, Nancy.
Yeah.
There you go.
And GB Clark is asking, what for you, Johnny, what is the greatest experience for you as a Packer alumni?
The greatest experience. As alumni?
I guess so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Being an alumni?
Meeting fans, right? Meeting fans, hanging out with the other ex-players.
Exactly.
telling
I mean,
stories.
just coming to Green Bay and meeting, all the guys that are in the Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame, Bart's. I mean, it was neat coming to a tradition, with fans and with the city and the bicycle rides and people like yourself going, hey, Johnny, what are you doing? Come on over to our house for dinner. It's like, well, you don't even know me, but Johnny, you're a Packer. You can come over our house. And it's like, okay, and it's neat. I mean, just the camaraderie and the friendship being involved with Green Bay.
Nothing like it, right? Nothing like it in
Absolutely.
the NFL. So, well, thank you online. Ricardo, let me know if you got anything else, but we're going to take a timeout, and it's a quick stat pack tonight. Thursday's Thanksgiving Day matchup between the Packers and Lions will be the first time the two teams have faced off on Turkey Day since 2013. It's been 10 years already. It doesn't seem like it. Yeah. Packers are 14, 20, and 2 in games they played on Thanksgiving. Maybe it'll be 15, 20, and 2 after Thursday. We'll see how it goes. Hey, Ricardo, we're doing trivia tonight, right?
That's right, but before we do trivia like we do every week, we need to put down some ground rules. First off, we'll ask the question. If you think you know the answer, you have to raise your hand. Don't shout it out and give someone else a chance to win. And if you're correct, you win what, Brett?
We got some great prizes again from the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, including this Timber Rattlers Hawaiian shirt. So that'll be the first trivia prize. The second will be this bobblehead of Whiffer. So that's some good stuff there. By the way, the Timber Rattlers are contributing game tickets tonight. So you have to be here to pick those up, though. That's a very nice holiday gift, right?
There you go.
Get into the holiday season.
And
We're
by the way,
always giving
once
stuff away.
you win, you're out for the rest of the show. Sorry, live chatters, got to be here to win.
Maybe we should give you away one of these weeks.
That's
huh?
fine with me.
How that was that? Well, you guys want to see that?
Yes.
Get Ricardo out of here. Nobody. No, she's shaking her head. She doesn't want
What?
you. She doesn't want you. Nobody wants
that
you to
hurts.
be given away.
Cuts me deep.
All right, trivia question number 1, guys. We just mentioned, remember, Packers Lions on Thanksgiving Day, the big matchup. Who was the last team the Packers faced on Thanksgiving? Hint: it was in 2015. Yes, sir. Not Dallas. Tracy Santos. Come on up. She got it right. It was the Chicago Bears. She gets the bell. Johnny, I'll let you give that to Tracy.
All right.
2015. I hate to do it, Ricardo.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
It was a very rainy night at Lambeau Field. Packers lost 17-13 that night. That was an evening highlighted by the unveiling of Brett Favre's number 4 on the Lambeau Field facade.
Jay Cutler, baby.
Also, that game featured an appearance by the legendary Bart Starr. He was there that night as well.
Okay.
2015. It's been 8 years since they played on Thanksgiving Day. So, all right, let's do this, Johnny Gray, a little bit more with the Packers Hall of Famer. Now, as I mentioned, Legends Edition show. We did this with Jerry Kramer and the Magic Man, Don Mikowski. I just want to show you a series of photos, and I just want you to talk about kind of what comes up. You can kind of see on that monitor up there.
Okay.
So let's do this. We're going to turn the floor over to Johnny Gray, but Rosie, let's put the first one up. Look at that. There he is, huh? The great quarterback, the legend, Bart Starr. Your coach, your entire career in Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
Your coach. What do you think when you just see Bart Starr? What are some of the great memories? You're laughing at Bart Starr right now. I don't know. He looks like a good guy to me.
Well, he is a good guy.
He's a great guy. He's a legend.
It is. I mean, it's
I got some great Bart Starr stories.
Well, didn't I ever tell you my Bart Starr story?
Tell us again. Maybe you did, but we want to hear it again.
Okay, so
Yes.
I've been sitting in a locker room, my rookie year, right? I was sitting in a locker room, and
So 1975.
in 1975, and this gentleman walks over. I'm the last one in the locker room. I didn't know anybody in Green Bay, so it was, all right, first one in, last one out mentality. And so this guy walks over and he says, "Hey, you're Johnny Gray." I said, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "I'm Bart Starr. I'm a friend of Bart. And what are you doing for dinner?" And I said, "I don't know." "Yeah, well, let's go out." So I get dressed. This is an elderly gentleman. He says he's Bart's business partner. And so we go out to the hot spots, and I thought we were going to go right to dinner, but we don't. We go downtown to the Stick and all these other places downtown, the Pickled Egg and all these other places. And all right, so I'm getting to the point where I've had a few, right? And then so he goes, "Okay, let's go get something to eat." I said, "All right, it's about time, man. I'm starving Marvin, right?" So we get in the car, and I'm thinking we're going to go to they had this DePere, had this truck stop back then. They had Denny's, which is still there. They had Big Bob's, Big Boy, all these little places you can go, right? So we're driving, and we're not even going that way. We're going, over the highway or through down Mason Street, and now we're down in the suburbs. Now we're on Webster and in Alloway. I said, "Where are we going?" He says, "We're gonna go get Cherry. We're gonna get Cherry to make us some breakfast." I went, "Like Cherry Star?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "No, we're not. We're not gonna go there." He goes, "Yes, we are. We're gonna go there. She's gonna make us breakfast." And like I said, I get out of the car. I'm walking up to the door. Right now, I'm sobering up very quickly by this time. And so I get to the door, and he knocks on the door, and now it's dark, and the lights come on, and she comes to the door in her gown on. And all of a sudden we go in, "Hey," and she welcomes the guy, and, "Hey, Johnny, how are you?" I said, "I'm doing great, Cherry. Mrs. Starr, how are you doing?" "Oh, yeah, I'm doing fine." She goes in, she makes us breakfast, and I'm looking around the corner. And I said, "Mrs. Starr, where's Coach?" "Oh, he's still at the stadium." I'm like, "It's got to be 1 o'clock. And he's still at the stadium working." And I said, "Oh, no, this is not good, And then all of a sudden he comes walking in. "Hey, Johnny, how are you?" And I said, "I'm doing well." He said, how's the food?" I said, "The food is terrific." He says, "Come here, I need to talk with you." And I went, "Oh, man, now he's going to tell me I don't ever want to see you in my house again. Or you're going to be cut." But he doesn't. He takes me down the hall, and we go into his office. And in his office, he's got his, Super Bowl rings, MVP awards. And he sits me down and says, "Johnny, you keep working hard and practice like you do. You're gonna play in this league for a long time." And I went, "Wow, that was pretty cool." I thought I was gonna get yelled at. I thought I was gonna get cut, and not even have a chance to even play in the squad. But he saw something in me to say, "Hey, you know what? You're doing the right thing. You're doing everything right. Just keep working hard like you're doing. And things will work out for you."
Wow, fantastic. That's good stuff. I bet you Bart said to Cherry afterwards that never again.
Exactly, right?
Never again.
But you know what, though? The neat thing about those two and their family is they were always that way. They were always out giving. Cherry would have, when the players were out of town, Miss Starr would have, the ladies over the house, and then they sit there and have a get together and kind of watch the game on TV, and they would always do things to kind of keep, especially the younger wives and girlfriends that were just coming on board, and the players, and kind of get them involved.
Yeah, I think the house was on Summer Range Road, I want to say, right off of Webster, I believe
it is.
So, all right, let's do the next photo, Rosie. Let's take a look. What do we have here? Oh, look at that guy. Number 12 before number 12, your quarterback, Lynn Dickey, huh?
Lynn Dickey!
Yes,
as
Lynn
we would say across
Dickey,
the locker room.
Tell everybody out here. Now, I'm old enough to remember Lynn Dickey, right?
Yes.
That guy had an arm. He had a cannon.
He did.
Tell everybody out here maybe that didn't remember Lynn Dickey, or those watching online, guy could play some quarterback,
The
right?
guy was a prolific quarterback. You give him time to throw the football, and he's going to punch up 300, 400 yards, 3-4 touchdowns, just like that. I mean, you give him receivers, pretty much how you saw Jordan Love sit back there and just kind of, I think it was pretty much a Pittsburgh game where he just sat back there in the pocket and had all day to sit. Okay, who's going to get open? When they're going to get open? And I'm going to get you the football, because he had that kind of an arm to get the ball there. He was very prolific.
Fantastic. Yeah, number 12. We're number 12. Go look at some YouTube stuff. Guy could sling it, especially when he got James Lofton in the
I had John Jefferson. We had Paul Kaufman.
Yeah.
Gary Ellis coming out of the backfield.
It was a big-time offense.
Yes.
Big-time offense. But and a tremendously nice guy. I've met Lindicki before. It's been a number of years, but, boy, I couldn't get over how nice he was and how friendly he was. Very approachable. Let's do the next one, Rosie. Check this out. Look at Johnny Gray on the Packers yearbook cover, number 1978. Look at you there. Look at you there, Johnny Gray. Yeah. Reason I bring that up, first of all, it's a great honor to be on the cover of the Green Bay Packers yearbook.
That was nice.
Art Daly, Lee Remmel, those guys, right?
Man.
Those guys are great guys, too.
Oh, man, they're top.
I played golf with in a Packer report outing once with Art Daly. Let's just say it was very colorful stories from Art Daly. I was like, whoa, my ears are bleeding, Art. Take it easy here, would you? But I bring up 1978, though, because you guys opened that season. You were 6-1, red hot, 7-2, but then you finished 1-5-1 to wind up 8-7-1. Missed the playoffs. You tied with the Vikings, but the Vikings got the tiebreaker. Both teams were 8-7-1. But still, that early part of the season must have been so exciting, because you got that taste back in Titletown, right? I bet you everybody was excited. What do you remember about that season? I know, other than the disappointing finish, James Lofton was a rookie that year, but it was kind of like, ooh, are we back? Is this? Are we going to have some winning football again? And it had to be pretty exciting.
Oh, it was, again, having that chance. I know we went out, we lost that game to the Bears in the second to last game, and instead of coming back to Green Bay and then flying out to L.A., we ended up going out to L.A., or out to Palm Springs, and we stayed at the Gene Autry Hotel for that whole week, which was exciting in itself. But at the time, the Governor Lyndon B. Johnson was the president. He came out to practice. Marvin Gaye came out to practice that day, invited the guys over to his house. That was an exciting year at the start. You're right. I mean, we went out there and we did everything the right way. We were in sync. We were in rhythm. And then all of a sudden, I think injuries started to come into a factor, and then we started losing players. And then that's when it kind of the downside. We had guys, unfortunately, you always hear about the players saying, "Hey, we're a close locker room, we're close knit, we're family here," but it was. I mean, people were crying in the locker room after games, saying, "Well, how come? Why is this happening to us? Why are these players getting injured like this?" And it broke a lot of people's hearts. It was tough to handle.
Tough finish, but again, that start kind of ignited feelings of, hey, we can win here in Green Bay, right, in the post-Lombardi era. Let's do the next one, Rosie. We just talked about these guys, but look at those guys. John Jefferson on the right, James Lofton on the left. What was it like going up against those guys in practice every single week?
Well, 83, John Jefferson was the kind of like the slot guy, flanker. He was a dart, got in and out. He took hits across the middle. He'd get hit by a linebacker and boom, bounce back up. James Lofton was like that elite athlete. He was, I think, Olympian style type long jumper, so he had great speed. He was a guy that I admired because back then, in that early part of my career, most of the receivers were more like 5'10", 5'9", kind of dart, kind of like a John Jefferson. But here all of a sudden you got James Lofton, who's 6'1", maybe almost 6'2", but he was fast, and he was not afraid to take you on. I mean, he would dare you to come up and bump and run him, because he was one of those guys that would get in the weight room. Back then, hey, a wide receiver, what do you mean? I'm not going to get in the weight room. I don't want to lift weights. I don't want to wear thigh pads. I don't want to wear knee pads. I want to be the lightest as I can be and quick as I can. But yet, he brought a new dimension into the game. And if, you know that James Lofton was fast as a D-back, you would see those corners either line up deep or they start their back pedal and they would sprint their back pedal as soon as the ball was snapped. And then James gets to get a huddle with Lynn and say, hey, I don't need to be running down here running a 12-yard out. I'll just run 2 yards. I'll give that burst, give me the ball, and then James is strong enough to go and make 9 yards on his own. And so that really kind of changed the game a little bit. And then now you see receivers now, they're all 6'2", 6'3". Yeah, they're all lifting weights and their upper body, shoulders. I mean, so I thought he brought a new dimension to the wide receiver spot.
Again, go YouTube that stuff because it was electric.
And he is the Pro Football Hall of Famer.
Absolutely, right? And JJ, of course, was brought in from the Chargers.
From Dan Fouts' Eric Coryell.
I remember as a kid when that move was made, how excited everybody was. I was like, wow, holy cow, we got John Jefferson to go along with James Lofton, and it was a prolific offense. Rosie, let's skip the next one. Let's do the 1983 photo, though, if you got that one handy. Look at that. There's Johnny Gray celebrating that wild Monday night victory over Washington, 1983. 48-47, Packers win. Remember, Mark Mosley, the kicker. Ricardo, he was the reigning MVP of the league, a place kicker. Can you believe that? He missed a 39-yard field goal attempt with just 3 seconds remaining. Washington was the reigning Super Bowl champs. Went on to win the Super Bowl again that season. Teams combined for 1,025 yards of offense, 771 passing yards. Were you on the field when he missed the kick?
I was.
Don't talk about the defense that night because neither team was.
We could. There was no defense.
There was no
we
defense.
Tried.
That was bonkers. Everybody still talks about that 1983 game. Still.
But I tell you what, though, John Riggins was running that night, and I remember right before halftime, Rich Wingo and myself, he ran a dive play. Both Rich and I filled the hole. Boom, hit him. And then he spasmed out right there, and so I ended up having to take him to the hospital. I think he spent the night at St. Mary's. But it was just like back spasms for him. Yeah. But because he was the one, he was running the ball all over the place, and so Rich and I kind of tattooed him a little bit and put him out of the game.
But that kick, were you on the field for the kick too?
Heck yeah, I think. I mean, I dove right there off the edge. Yeah, tried to block that bad boy, but couldn't get it done.
But it didn't matter, right?
Yeah.
What do you remember when you see the ball? It just misses the up.
I just turned around and looked, and it was the referee's going like this, and so it's like, yeah, baby, yes, because it was so. I mean, that game was huge. I mean, we're going up against, like you said, defending Super Bowl champions, and
on Monday Night Football.
I remember Mike Douglas, our linebacker. I think he thighs him through a ball out in the flat. The running back caught it, and then Mike was able to punch it out and pick it up and run it back for a score. I think it was that started off the night, and it went back and forth.
Then Dickey had a big night that night. I mean, it was nuts. People now. I mean, that's 83, 40 years ago. Is that right?
Is that right? No.
83.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh.
83. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Where's time go?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Well. Mark Murphy. Mark Murphy was a safety that night, the Packers president. Yeah.
Yep.
There were 2 Mark Murphys on the field for you guys.
Yes. And he was in town yesterday.
Was he really?
Yeah. He and Mark, I saw Mark before the game, and Mark said, hey, your other Mark's in town. I went, really? I said, yeah, he's on the other side.
Good player. Good player.
Good player.
Let's do the last one, Rosie. Let's see if you recognize this one, Johnny. No, not that one. We just saw that one. You got the one of the look at Johnny. Look at this. Look at these guys. Johnny, I think that's you on the bottom
we
left.
all shave their heads. Yeah.
That's Willie Buchanan on the back. He's shaving all your heads.
Yes.
That's you on the left.
Steve Odom in the middle.
And Steve Luke.
Steve Luke.
That
was my roommate.
The Hit Brothers right there. You guys.
Well,
right?
It's Steve Luke on the right from Ohio State. He was the one that got me wearing the neck roll and the bone pads. And here's this guy, Steve Luke. Was a center at Ohio State, and they played in the Rose Bowl against SC, and I guess he was a center, and they ended up moving him to Rover, monster back as they call it. But Steve Odom was a kick returner, wide receiver, ran about a 4.4, 4.5 40.
Pretty good group back there.
That was pretty cool.
Pretty cool, and he gave some pretty good haircuts too.
Wow.
You still have that same haircut, it looks like, right now.
Well, yeah. Man, oh man.
Yeah.
Where can I get a picture like that?
I'll send it to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll find it and I'll send it to you. $100.
Oh, okay.
Does that sound okay?
All right.
I'm just trying to make some money here, Ricardo. That's all. It's holiday season coming up. I need some money for some presents. But how about that? A little trip down memory lane with Johnny Gray. That's fun stuff, isn't it?
Thank you.
I love that. Willie Buchanan always had that big smile on his face too back there.
And he still does.
Yeah, he was a good player, obviously, with 4 interceptions in one single game. Hey, Ricardo, social media question of the night. It's your turn.
That's right. It's from Dennis Reed on Facebook. He wants to know, Johnny, during your career, you had the opportunity to play with and against some of the greatest players in NFL history. Are there any opponents or teammates who left a lasting impression on you?
That's a good one.
I talked about James Lofton because he's one of those guys, the wide receiver that I thought changed the game. Whenever we would go one-on-one, I would like, even as a safety, I would go out there and say, hey, I want to cover James, because he was always thinking all the time. You know, he'd study your back pedal, he'd study your leverage, he would study how your foot movement. He would wait to get you on that off foot before he'd make that move. He was always thinking all the time coming off the ball, and it definitely helped him in his career because he went on to be Hall of Fame. But I mean, that was one of the guys that I really looked up to, because I thought he was very progressive, weight training, nutrition, things like that, to get himself ready. Probably the other person would be Rocky Bleier.
Oh, wow. From Appleton right
yes.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, we played the Steelers there at Three Rivers Stadium, and they're running a dive play, off tackle play, and I filled, man. I'm flying up in there, boom, and I hit him, knocked him down. You know, he gets up, and he goes, hey, 24, you keep playing like this, you're going to be in the league for a while. And I went, hey, thanks. He goes, you're right. You know, he hits me on the top of the head. He goes, yeah, all right, thanks. And then, I'll never forget that.
Rocky Bleier, one of Appleton's favorite sons. He's actually got a street named after him down in the flats here downtown. So, of course, Walter Payton, too. We'll give it up for Ricardo, right? Going against Sweetness.
Yeah, Sweetness.
He was a good player.
He was a darn good player.
We rip on the Bears, but that guy was the best.
Yes.
One of the best, anyway.
I'll just say that I always watch my Bears highlights. You know, Peyton, I always see you, Johnny, in those highlights.
Trying to fly over there where he's well, that's because I was trying to time his leap, man. Or he always would fly over the pile, and I'm sitting there going, okay, 1,001, 1,000 goal, out there, and I never had a chance to hit him up there.
Golden era of professional football right back then. So, hey, for having his question selected, Dennis wins a signed photo. Dennis, I'm going to send you one of Keyshawn Nixon. Each week we'll ask you to submit a question for our co-host or guest that we'll ask live during Monday's show. Look for it on Facebook.com/Clubhouse Live. Time for another timeout. And stick around, folks. I mentioned this. Those online, they're out of luck. Check this out, Johnny, because we are going to give away this great quarterback bobblehead set of Bart Starr, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers. It's a 3-piece set. Somebody's going to win that tonight, courtesy of our friends at Bobble Galore. We're also giving away. We have a bobblehead of Mean Gene, Johnny Gray. Mean Gene, hold up your bobblehead. You got to show Johnny Gray that thing.
Jeez,
right on the table. Right on the table. There it is, Johnny Gray.
Oh,
Look at that. Cool. We're going to give one of those away as well, courtesy of our friends at Bobbles Galore. Bobbles Galore is your source for the largest selection of bobbleheads you will find anywhere. That includes a great selection of Packers, Brewers, and Bucks bobbleheads. Shop bobblesgalore.com today. Ricardo, should we do trivia question number 2?
Yeah, and I need both you and Johnny to look out in the crowd to see who raises their hand first. Here is the question. The legendary John Madden popularized this 3-meat dish during his annual Thanksgiving telecast. It's part turkey, part duck, part... Okay.
This young lady right here, I'm pointing to you. Nope, right you. Turducken, come on up. She got it right. Turducken. I don't know if I want to try that.
Yeah, I'm not into duck.
Johnny, I'll let you give that bobblehead to her. Turducken. Part turkey, part duck, part chicken. How about like they had like 9 or 10 turkey legs always on those turkeys? Something was funky was going on with John Madden.
It looked weird. It looked like an abomination.
I'm not sure what was going on. So, hey, Rosie, we need some music because it is time for tonight's Clubhouse Live Challenge. Here we go. It's sponsored by Munoz Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, your center for dental excellence. Voted Reader's Choice Best Dentist, Best of the Bay in back-to-back years. Let Dr. Sebastian and his team of professionals help you achieve your dream smile. We're going to play a game, and you're going to try to win some prizes for tonight's playing partner. All right, our playing partner is way back in the window there. AJ Eno, raise your hand. That's your playing partner.
All right, AJ.
AJ, we're going to play a game. We've done it with you before. It's called Six Pack.
Well, he's got 3 of them already back there.
He's got a 6-pack down already. Yeah. So this is going to be a 6-pack of questions about a particular category. Now, Ricardo, I believe that Johnny has one of the fastest times ever in this game.
I think yes, that was his most recent appearance. Wasn't
it?
He's
one of the leader. He's on the leaderboard for sure. I think Tony Fisher might have the record.
Okay.
And you know Tony well, I know.
Right,
so
I do.
All right, so you have 60 seconds to correctly answer 6 questions about a particular category. If you do so, you win the game and prizes for tonight's contestant. You can win this great Packers cup courtesy of Shields. That's nice. A signed photo of one of our co-hosts right here. It is Keyshawn Nixon. And the best prize of them all, it's a USA Today Network Wisconsin ice scraper.
Yes.
Everybody loves the ice scraper. Starting to get cold outside. Starting to get cold outside. So that's the pressure you're under. However, if you do not win tonight, Johnny, AJ will have to stuff turkeys with Ricardo.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
You're
Real
under a lot of
turkeys.
pressure. AJ and Ricardo stuffing turkeys for Thanksgiving. I don't think AJ wants to be doing that. If at any point you're stuck on a question, you can pass and we'll come back to it. Ricardo, you will keep track of the time. And as always, Ricardo, do not start the clock until I ask the first question in its entirety. Now, the category tonight, it's simple. It's Thanksgiving. 6-pack of questions about maybe the greatest holiday of all time.
Yes.
You eat, and you plop on the couch and you watch football, and you don't care what else is happening in the world.
Nobody cares how much you eat.
No. Second favorite holiday, 4th of July.
Yes.
All right? The summertime. So, how you feeling? You know, I bet you know about Thanksgiving, right? You like Thanksgiving?
I like Thanksgiving.
Turkey.
Yeah.
What's your favorite side?
I'll go green bean casserole.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
we're gonna have that
I
at
like
our
that.
house. Love stuffing. Love some mashed potatoes. Some biscuits, right, Ricardo, with a little butter on them. Some gravy.
Tamales, but we're a Mexican kind of
Okay,
thing
that
going
sounds
on
good
here.
too.
Yeah. Yep.
So here we go. Question number 1 again. Don't start the clock until I'm finished. This was mentioned now as part of last week's show. Wisconsin is the leading producer of this Thanksgiving dinner staple. Hint, it is a fruit. It is a little red berry.
Cranberry.
Yes. Number 2, what is the name of the major shopping event that takes place the day after
Black
Thanksgiving?
Friday.
Yes. Number 3, what is the name of the chemical in the turkey that is said to make you sleepy?
It's a tryptophan.
Yes. Number 4, true or false, Thanksgiving always falls on the 4th Thursday of November.
4th, yes.
Yes.
True.
Number 5, this bearded and top hat wearing president proclaimed Thanksgiving a national holiday way back in 1863.
Oh, Lincoln.
Yes, that's it. Number 6, the Packers play the Lions on Thanksgiving Day. Who will win that game, Johnny?
Packers,
That's
baby!
it. That's it.
Yes.
Ricardo,
It's 32 seconds. He got it. Answered them all in 32 seconds. Is that a
32
record?
seconds. That's one of our fastest times.
Okay.
Johnny Gray showing off again. Hey, AJ. Championship music, Rosie, because you got the mug from Shields, the signed photo of Keyshawn Nixon, and, of course, the ice scraper from USA Today Network Wisconsin. How about Johnny Gray bringing it tonight, right?
Thank you,
Again.
Thank you.
Brett, if I could have Marge and Dylan come up here for the questions.
Yeah, our audience questions of the night. But before we get to those, Johnny, I was looking at your son. I don't think he's ever been more proud of his old man than what he just saw tonight. 6-pack of questions,
Wow.
you dominating it
Wow.
once again,
Wow.
right? Tryptophan now. You eat a lot of
Tryptophan. I was
turkey.
thinking about it.
You know, you might have had a little help from the audience,
Yeah.
but you eat a lot of turkey, and next thing you know, you're dozing off.
Yeah,
Great way.
exactly.
Beautiful way to live. Beautiful way to live. So, hey, we've got some audience questions there for Ricardo, for
Yes,
Johnny.
we do. And here's number 1 of 2 questions we have for you. This is from Marge from Appleton. Marge?
Hi, Johnny. Would you like to play with today's, if you could play now, would you like to play with today's rules and today's safer player equipment and with their salaries?
Show me the money.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be tough. It's a different set of rules. It's a different way or style of playing. You know, when I came in the league, it was like, man, just seek and destroy. And now you can't not, but you have to do it in a controlled manner. Back then it was reckless abandon. Now it's more controlled. And yeah, could I adapt to it? Sure. How many zeros are on that check?
You're
right. Yeah, I can
Absolutely.
adapt. I'm coachable. But yeah, it's tough. But it's challenging for those guys now.
Great question. Thank
Great
you very
question.
much.
Thank you, Marge from Appleton. Okay.
Carter, you
Our
got
next
another
question
one.
here for you, Johnny.
Got a young man over here.
This is, get a little closer. This is Dylan. He's from Freedom. Dylan, what's your question for Johnny?
What was the main reason you stayed in Wisconsin after football?
Great question. You're a California guy.
I am.
What are you doing here in the winter? Crying out loud.
Yeah, John's mother My son's mother kept me here.
He's the reason? Are you saying that?
It's neat. I'm just being around this community all the years. That's really the main reason. I enjoyed it. I'm an Air Force brat. My dad was. I was born in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Lived there. Maybe 4 months, because my dad already had orders to transfer to Puerto Rico. Moved to Puerto Rico for 4 years, and then to MacDill Air Force Base for a year on base, and then moved into Tampa for 3 years, and then out to California to Vandenberg. So all warm weather places, but it's nice to be in a community that's it's pretty laid back. Get to wear shorts all winter.
I guess so, yeah.
And it's pretty cool. I mean, everybody's just, I like it. I love the atmosphere.
You're a Packer, they love you
the
forever,
culture.
right?
Yes, love the culture.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brats, cheese curds, and
Yeah,
beer, you
yeah.
can't beat it, right? So, very good. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
the
Thank you,
questions.
Dylan.
We
Thank you.
appreciate it. Hey, a few more things. You never played on Thanksgiving Day.
Never.
I looked at it.
Nope.
Your career ended 75 through 83. Then 1984, the Packers played
They
the
did.
Lions. He just missed it.
Just missed
Bet
it.
you that would have been kind of fun, though. You wish you would have played on the Big Turkey Day, right? Because that's such a big holiday, big deal, big
Well,
tradition.
You know, as a player, everybody, all players and whatever athlete would like to be showcased. And that day is one of those days where everybody's watching. There's 3 games that day, and you're one of them, and everybody's watching to see how you guys do.
Yeah, that'd have been fun. I also wanted to ask you, what are you most thankful for?
Thankful for what the man above has provided for me, the opportunities to play this great game and have a chance to be here tonight and share my stories and with all the people that have made it possible. Yeah, without your cheers and go Pack, go. Yeah.
I think I heard Grizzly Dan over there. Last thing, Johnny. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have a pretty big birthday coming up here, right?
I do.
December 18th.
I do.
You turn the big 7-0, right? Johnny
Yeah, baby.
Gray.
Yeah, baby.
You're looking
forward to
good.
it. Trying.
You're looking good for well, not that 70s old by any stretch of the
Yeah,
imagination.
what are you trying to say?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying you're looking good. You're looking good. But Johnny, we thought, how about a pre-happy birthday song for Johnny Gray? Rosie, can you cue up the music for Johnny here? Wow. Let's everybody sing along to Johnny Gray, please.
Breaking that sweat.
Dear Johnny,
Thank you.
there you go.
Thank you very much.
It's a little early,
Thank you.
a few weeks early, but 7 years old, right? You
Yeah.
made it. You
Big
made it.
7-0. Yes, I did.
70 down, 30 more to go at least, right?
Wow, that's hope, right?
But
Why
you
not?
But you're looking good. You're feeling good. How about a big round of applause for Johnny Gray tonight?
Thank you.
We love it when Johnny's on, Ricardo. One of our favorites, right? Johnny Gray. We love it on the Legends Edition. Let's go up north. We're going to pick Thursday's Packers-Lions game at Ford Field. Now, Ricardo, know the room, know the audience.
Yes.
Who are you picking to win that game?
Listen, I'm still mad that the Bears blew the game against the Lions. And I hope Detroit whips Green Bay. That's
Oh.
right. Gonna ruin your Thanksgiving.
Between me and Gene and Johnny Gray, I think you're in trouble. You're in trouble after the show. Well, you know what, Johnny? I put this on my head last Monday night. You know, I had to mix it up. I had to find a different hat to wear, and this thing has some victories in it. So I'm going to put the Packers winter hat on like I did last time.
There you go.
I'm picking a Packers victory. Why not, right? Packers victory, Mean Gene. How about this score? How about 31-28? A thriller. How about this, right? The Lions, they've been playing with fire the last 2 weeks. Should have lost to the Bears. Should have lost to the Chargers the week before, right? That was a 41-38 game. Defense is not playing well. It hasn't been impressive for the Lions. Weird things happen on those Thursday games. It's not a full week of practice. I know it's a common opponent, but they're going to be the favorites, and they're coming in all fat and sassy and kind of cocky right now. Do you hear Dan Campbell talking about how they're going to be cheering even louder after Thursday's game? pretty much assuring the Lions of a victory. You know Matt LaFleur is going to put that on the bulletin board. Green Bay's defense, can they do what the Bears did? Create some turnovers, right? Jared Goff, maybe a little bit of a slump, maybe some key turnovers. I like the Packers to come away with those key turnovers and a signature victory, right, of the season. All of a sudden, they're going to be, whoa. Jordan Love's going to continue his hot spell or his hot streak, 31-28. I'm picking the Pack. How do you like that?
I like it. I like, yes, go ahead.
Absolutely.
I know it's
What do you think?
I like your chances.
Yes.
I
Why
like
not?
the chances. I like the idea that he comes out. Jordan's coming off a 300-yard game.
Yep.
Like his percentages. I know he could do better in the game and placing the ball where it needs to be. I like Romeo. I know he made that great catch. You guys saw the second touchdown, or the touchdown in the end zone where he just took that ball away from the defender. All right, that was a great catch. But also notice right there, I think it was in the first quarter, maybe that first quarter, they were coming down, and Dobbs was streaking down the sidelines, and that defensive back was right there, and Dobbs turned, and the defender was able just to block the ball away. And that was early in the game. Obviously, Dobbs remembered that and went back and said, you know what? I'm not going to be nonchalant, because he didn't get a call in the play. Could have been pass interference if he would have came back sooner. But you saw in that touchdown, he went through that defender, took that ball over, and showed it, hey, I got this.
Right.
And so I think things like that, those are those things you're talking about, trending up. They're making those little minor adjustments as they grow, as they get that more experience. And yeah, it's going to be a close game. They're going to find a way to win.
There you go. Johnny thinks so too. Try to control both sides of the line of scrimmage as well. That'll be a challenge, but I like it.
Hey, Brett, is Jair expected back? Do you know?
I haven't heard anything yet. Don't know if he
I'm just saying, because
practiced today,
Amon-Ra St. Brown,
he's good.
he basically wrecked Chicago. He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
So if Jair's back,
Maybe
that's
he'll be
good.
back. Hopefully he'll be back. So, hey, Packers News app, though, Ricardo.
That's
How's
right,
that work?
with exclusive commentary, insider analysis, award-winning photos, and videos from USA Today Network, Wisconsin's Packers coverage team. Hey, Brett, that Packers News app, your one-stop shop for complete coverage of the Green Bay Packers. Unlimited digital access to the Packers News app, and PackersNews.com can be yours. Get this, and I know you may have heard this already, for as low as 99 cents for that first month. Brett, you can't beat that price.
Amazing.
That's right. So please subscribe today, because you know we need that money.
Yep. I want to thank our sponsors and friends one more time. But first, a reminder, if you have one of those redeemable coupons, you can go to the table to my left. You can pick up your A.J. Dillon Quadzilla book and your Rattlers ticket as well. And stick around for these great Bobbles Galore giveaways as well. We'll draw for the winners here in a little bit. But first, again, thanks to our presenting sponsors, Cellcom and Packerland Home Improvement. Also, our segment sponsors, Bobbles Galore and Munoz Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. And finally, thank you to our supporting sponsors and friends. We have Shields Escort Limousine Service, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear, Mayfield Sports Marketing, Mike Thiel and Eric Lives here, Miller Lite, and always the good folks here at the Fox Club and the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. I'm going to give it to you, Johnny Gray. First of all, thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Always love having you here. Always love having you
Pleasure
here.
to be here.
You've been good to us over the years, so thank you so much. And have a great holiday as well.
And you as well.
And
everybody else.
And we'll be over. Ricardo and I'll be over Thursday. What time should we be over for dinner?
Let's see. The dinner is probably going to be halftime.
Halftime? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be. Ricardo, should we show up?
So that was 11:30, 12.
Yeah,
30,
Ricardo
1
wants to eat.
o'clock.
He's going like this. We'll show up at Johnny Gray's house, right?
Exactly.
You'll slam the door on Ricardo, but you'll let me in.
Really, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. But I want to give you the final word tonight to all these great fans here and watching online. What do you have to say to them?
It's been fun. Go Pack, go! Right?
That's it. Go Pack, go! He says. So for Johnny Gray, for Ricardo and the crew with USA Today Network Wisconsin, I'm Brett Christopherson saying so long. Be back here next Monday night at 6:30 as we celebrate a Packers Thanksgiving victory over the Lions. We're going to have Josiah DeGuara and a teammate guest. Stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, it's our unofficial mascot. It's Mean Gene. Hey, Mean Gene, take it away.